Hey guys, Retro Reviews here again with another Transformers video review, and hang on, this isn't right. Give me 1 second. That's better. This time we'll be taking a look at the Supercharged version of X-Brawn from Robots in Disguise. Now, as you can see, here is X-Brawn in his new color scheme. Basically, the Car Brothers do get a powered up version of themselves midway through the series, and that just entitles as a color swap. And each of the three do have a little bit of a previous Transformer reference in their color schemes. As you can see here, X-Brawn is actually has a color scheme that is inspired by the original G1 Wheeljack. As you can see, it's primarily white with the green, the red, and there's just a little bit extra blue, and then there is a rally car tampograph, and it does keep the same tampograph as the car release, which say Cybertron, and the Japanese, like, his Japanese name is Wild Rider, so it does keep the wild out of Wild Rider on there. So it's essentially similar to, or it's extremely similar to the Japanese release. And we do also have gold chrome wheels, as well as a gold chrome engine block underneath the hood. If we can get it open, there we go. So yep, as you see, gold chrome engine block. And comparing the colors side by side between the two releases, you can tell there's quite a change in the colors. Definitely a lot brighter, a lot more vibrant colors going on with the Supercharged version. And he does still retain all of the same functionality as the original one. This is pretty much just a straight recolor. The doors, just for the sake of transformation, they do open, and also do kind of give a little bit of that like model car feel to them, which peg in really nice and tight, so it is kind of hard to get open. And if we move his head out of the way, we can get underneath and kind of pop out the sunroof, but I'm not going to do that because it's actually really tight, I think, just due to the paint. In fact, I don't think I've ever taken that apart. And one thing to note between the Hasbro regular X-Brawn and the Supercharged form is that this weapon is actually slightly recast, slightly altered for this tip here to be flat, and then so now it rests on the Autobot crest from his arm, and all of that lays flat, so it's not trying to force itself apart. So there is X-Brawn in his Supercharged form's alt mode, and we'll get into transforming here in just a second. And so transforming X-Brawn is the same exact as it was before. So we'll go ahead and start by removing the running board weapons here off of the bottom of the car. And then open the doors, give the front a nice yank to separate that out, then rotate that into place, and give the back section a nice yank to extend that out, and fold the waist down, get the arm situated out of the way, separate the legs, fold up the feet, rotate the wheels forward, fold this section around with the wheel here to expose the hand, and then rotate the top of the car and then fold the head out and rotate it. And there we have X-Brawn. Then we can go ahead and attach the weapons onto his back, and just like the original X-Brawn, he does retain a little bit of balance issues because of that left arm. So yeah, once we go ahead and get those in play, we'll go ahead and make sure he'll stand up. And go ahead and take a look at his head sculpt. That went way out of focus, really bad. So there we go, very nice look on his head sculpt there. Maybe if I can get my camera to keep it centered, but I guess the tripod's too tight. There we go. There we go. So yeah, good looking head sculpt. It's the same exact head sculpt as before. And now we can take a look at how they differentiate. There's mostly, it's all just a color swap. The silver brow on X-Brawn's standard version head has been turned to black, and there's some more silver detail being picked out. And then the chest is now cast in a pearlescent white and has some metallic green details and some metallic gold. And that's, as you can see, that's pretty much all that's been changed between the two. And articulation wise, everything is still exactly the same. We do have the very deep cut ball joint for the transformation, so you can look forward, but as well as getting a full 360-degree rotation. This arm does have a little bit of outward movement and inward movement, as well as full 360-degree swivel at the bicep, right above the elbow, as well as a really deep cut elbow to get more than a 180-degree bend if you could get that completely straightened out. Ball joint on this wrist, this arm, ball joint in the shoulder, as well as for the transformation joint, you can rotate it backwards a little bit, like a reverse butterfly joint, and then ball joint in the elbow. Waist articulation is pretty fixed in there due to the transformation. Hips are ball jointed, so they go all the way out, and all the way forward, all the way back. And then due to the transformation, we do have double jointed knees, so we can bend there and there. But that's really the actual knee for the transformation, for the articulation, I mean. And then pretty much static toes. So that's about it for articulation. And now for weapons, he does still contain all the same weapons. We do have the front bumper piece that could come off, and then he can hold in his left hand. And I say hold in his left hand, and there it goes. So just by rotating the thumb up to expose the opening for his hand so he can hold it, as well as either one of these two weapons in the back can plug into the spring-loaded launcher on his fist and act as weapons there, which do fire off because they are spring-loaded missiles. So that's about it. Now, as I mentioned several times in this review, there's pretty much no physical difference between X-Brawn and Supercharged X-Brawn aside from a color swap. And that being said, he still retains all the same faults, all the same benefits that the original X-Brawn has. The only difference is that the Hasbro release of Supercharged X-Brawn does feature a little bit of the remolding that was present in the Takara release, where this is a little bit flatter on the side and allows for a cleaner undercarriage for his car mode. So, honestly, when it comes down to whether or not you should pick this up, it all depends on a personal preference. If you like the color scheme, or if you like having the complete collection, I would definitely suggest picking it up, but just remember, it is literally a color swap from the original X-Brawn release. So, you're not getting anything really new out of playability, out of posability. It's all just pretty much the same thing. Everything he could do before, he can do now. It's just a little bit more of a flashier color scheme. But anyways, if you could still find either of these for a really decent price, I would highly suggest picking him up. X-Brawn, either mode is a fun one to have. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys like this video review, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.